What's up, friends? Welcome to today's reading. As you saw from the title, this is going to be channeled messages from the dark sacred feminine. And as a disclaimer, I just want to get this out of the way. We all know that the polarity doesn't really exist in the void space of the goddess. We use the terms dark and light just to portray a sense of duality, the sacred number 2, the yin energy, the feminine energy, the parts of us that are unseen, mysterious, etc. So this has nothing to do with things that are scary. So I wanted to get that out of the way before we began. Pick your crystal. We have a little array. All of these things are pre-selected, but I haven't seen any of the cards. We have a whole pile that will go along with your first initial card, and I'm going to leave it open to the dark feminine, the dark goddess, Lilith, Ishtar, any dark feminine that is supportive for you is allowed to come through, so long as they are in everybody's highest and best. We're only allowing wisdom and helpful messages that project us onto our highest and best path and are clear, sacred, and aligned to come through this reading. So without further ado, pick out your crystal, your pile. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. The timestamps are down in the description below. Make sure that you're subscribed to do an energy exchange with me. And if you are interested in working more with Lilith in particular, I have other videos on this channel. I have a meditation and an informational video about her, and coming soon will be an altar video as well. So anyway, let's go ahead and hop right in. Hello, Pile 1. Welcome to your reading. So to start off, I always just like to take a moment to check out this crystal that you chose. This one is all about overcoming the parts of ourselves, the shadows, the things that hold us back, the inner fears, worries, anything that kind of provides a blockage. This stone is all about kind of overcoming that and getting a higher outlook with compassion rather than with anger or rejection and self-rejection. So you may be moving through a time where you're learning to be more compassionate, and you may feel, some of you may be having recurring thoughts, intrusive thoughts, minor OCD episodes. You could be struggling with a recurring theme, and you're learning now that instead of getting angry and trying to control the matter and grip on tighter, it's more about having compassion and knowing that, you know, your brain, your spirit is trying to keep you safe, and that working with it and seeing that as an act of compassion from yourself first is maybe the key to overcoming any blockages that you have, knowing that because you do have a sense of worry, because you do have a sense of isolation or non-belonging or self-questioning, that, you know, you are a very compassionate person. You're very sensitive to be worrying about such things or to be involved in such types of thoughts. They're very insightful, and that is a great superpower of yours, is to be so insightful and to take responsibility and to take initiative and action. And your brain is the seed where that happens. Those first thoughts, those first moments of, you know, something's wrong and I need help. That's what your brain is bringing up for you possibly lately. And you could have already moved out of that stage and into the stage of, now I'm overcoming, I'm taking action. It's happening on a deep subconscious and cellular level, if you will. So we'll put that to the side and we'll hop into your pre-selected cards. We're gonna go in the order that I pulled them in. So I did this for every pile. Every pile has the same number of cards, but I'm not sure which cards they are. And obviously they're all incredibly different. So starting off with the Kim Kranz Animal Spirit deck, we have the Whale. and I don't think I'll do any inversals on the oracle, but I will note that. So the whale is a sign of ancestors. It's a sign of deep inner knowing. It's a sign of actually having the upper hand, yet being a gentle spirit. There could have been a matter where, you know, you had a lot of conflicting feelings that came up. You could have a past that's checkered, and you had to overcome a lot of adversities. You have your own mistakes, other people have their mistakes in your history, but you're at a point now where you've reconciled those things and you're ready to just work on you. And in that way, ancestors and spirits and all sorts of beings are guiding you fluidly to be graceful in your power. And that is what the dark feminine really wants you to know, is that you are so powerful. You've always had the upper hand. You will have the upper hand. Not only are you protected from others, but you're now protected even from your own self-inflicted problems and your own sense of demise or doom or whatever. Those things are even starting to seem very shallow in the grand scheme of what is true and deep and honorable. You're seeing past the mind's limitations right now. Singing could also be an important part of this. You could be doing a lot more throat chakra activations. You could be more clairaudient. You're hearing the messages. You're getting you're able to be gentle enough to where things are standing out even more in your psychic realm. To check deeper in, I also pulled some of the Black Moon astrology cards. So we have Yod and we have Capricorn I use. So you could be very monetarily focused right now. You could be focused on the material. You could be getting more into projects that have to do with the earth, that have to do with building, that have to do with time. A lot of your issues, a lot of the things that you're working on and through right now actually require a lot of time and patience and structure and determination and full transparency and honesty to the self about what you do and do not struggle with. There's really not a lot of time for games or as much socialization as there used to be. You're finding that you only really want to interact with people that bring you up or teach you something or provide a sense of peace and calm, which is beautiful. And other than that, you've got your eye on the prize. You could struggle sometimes with getting too material, not being able to wind down, not being able to know when to, make time for emotions. You may even benefit though from scheduling time for emotions. So when you feel the buildup of an emotion, you feel like, I might be having an anxiety attack, I might be having an old pattern come up, I have some sort of memory forming, I have an uncomfortable feeling in general. It may benefit you to not try to go outwards as much when those feelings are becoming very present. You have plenty of things that you do in your day. Like maybe your structures are already pretty established. Maybe you go to classes or you study something or you work, or you have your daily structures and routine pretty nailed down, or you're getting the idea of how to do that, and that's benefiting you greatly. So now it's time to remember how to feel as well. So when those tough things come up, you are in a state where you can't just run or work your way through those things. You have to just be present and compassionate, right? We have to just sit with that and listen and not push it away and not self-reject, and make time to really see, what am I oppressing? And are those feelings just something that I need to sit with and don't need to try to fix, and they'll go away if I just do that, or they'll subside if I just listen, or if I take 10 minutes to cry. Giving yourself 5 to 10 minutes to just feel in a moment of overwhelm could be very useful for you. But great monetary results are going to come from this time. You are very hardworking. You don't understand actually how much of a change you've been making by being more determined, more able to adjust and not be so ungrounded. Like, your groundedness is bringing some great monetary rewards. There's going to be some major manifestations coming in, and just because they may come in unexpected ways doesn't mean that you didn't manifest them. Yod destiny, this is like the flame of manifestation. This is where it's the seed of the action that must be taken in order to get the garden in full. Yet it's an incredibly tight angle in the natal chart, the Yod, that this card refers to, and it can feel like the divine is just really testing us and really putting us through some tight squeezes, and so this is hard. You know, you have to stay patient and deliberate and determined while also knowing how to feel and tap into that ancestral wisdom, which I think is really interesting, that we have so much earthiness and so much groundedness here, and that your ancestors are coming through so strongly. And maybe making an ancestor altar is important, because obviously the earth has some memories for you. So our DNA stores memories, our ancestors know what we are feeling like now, and it's all happening through this connective platform of the earth, right? The bodies of our ancestors are here. We will be here forever. All that we do is energetically rippling through this earth. And in that way, the earth has so much knowledge to offer, and you're tapping into that without even realizing it. Just as the worms know how to navigate the soil, they don't need to sit down and necessarily meditate or reach some point of enlightenment. Just being a being of the earth and getting quiet and feeling what that feels like, while also putting in that structure and that higher learning and that higher knowledge and that wisdom, cultivates a great sense of psychicness. And that's kind of what you're going through now, is you're becoming that wise elder. No matter what your age is, you're becoming that ancestor that breaks generational trauma, etc. And this is all, again, very timely, long, deliberate, hardworking, shadowy things that we must navigate. And it doesn't feel like a lot of instant gratification, so it can seem like we're not doing anything and we're not doing enough. So you need to get that out of your head if it's there, that you're not doing enough, because you're doing more than probably anyone who's come before you in your lineage. Moving on, we have some pre-selected tarot cards from the Queer Tarot, and I am going to get a mic soon, by the way, but I don't have it yet. But soon the background noises won't be as major. So just to get a little bit more of a feel here, all right. And by the way, when it comes to reversals, I tend to kind of do my own thing, because I'm reading the cards. Okay, so let's see here. We have the Two of Cups, the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and the Chariot. These were all technically reversed, but in that way I think they're all kind of up, right side up. Either way, I'll take in mind that, you know, since they were all technically reversed, sorry again about the noise. So being that they are all technically reversed, that would tell me that you're having maybe a harder time grasping and believing in yourself and believing in these concepts and believing that you're moving through certain things. For example, we have the Two of Cups near two Aces and the Chariot. There's a sense of a deep need to be loved and to feel at home and to have material manifestations that prove it. You may be very grateful for your partners, your friends, your family, but you're ready to move into more of a state where that is solidified, and you're trying to be both mental and logical and passionate. You're trying to balance these two things, this ability to cut clearly through who is not serving you, what patterns aren't serving you, what habits aren't serving you. Maybe you go to get help more often now, and maybe you know how to ask structures, establishments, and people for their opinions and their technologies that are going to help you work through deep-seated issues that stop you from achieving the goal of actually having this well-rounded experience of groundedness and love and accomplishment and achievement. You may be at a point where you want to get a house with your partner, you want to have children, you want to have a new pet, you want to get a new line of work. Like, there's a lot of things that you're wanting to ground down into, and that's a plethora of things, and it needs to be spiritually driven for you in order to feel truly satisfied. You've done a lot of things where you're like, yeah, I did it just to try it, but it proved to be unsatisfying, which is why you're reaching out to your dark feminine, because she holds the answer, right? And she is reflected in the dark goddesses that work with us in this reading. And she's letting you know, your inner dark feminine, no matter how you identify, we all have her, we all have that archetype within ourselves, is letting you know that, you know, your creativeness, your sexuality, your intellect, your sense of humor, your ability to be clear, sovereign, bold, unapologetic is very, very, very much a part of getting you to where you need to be. You might want a wholesome life. You might not want a wholesome life. You might see wholesome as working very hard and living simply. You may see wholesome as having a big family. Whatever you see yourself doing as you quote unquote settle down and ground into this earth and ground into this life and your home and your family and your future or current children, your future or current partners, those grounded aspects have to do with you being very much yourself. Like, watch what you want to watch, be what you want to be. What you're interested in is very much a part of who you're becoming. You're not gifted interests and given a brain that is interested in the things that you are interested in for nothing. This is going to attract people, places, situations, experiences, and things that mold you into this very wise elder who has these things and doesn't lose their fire. You have that spark in you. So moving on, we have 11, awareness. Now 11 is the number of change. This is the Lawn Sacred Geometry deck, by the way. I feel really bad about the noise, but I'm just going to keep going. The energy of awareness supports our capacity to focus our attention on all aspects of a multi-dimensional world so that we create a reality we truly choose. Now, when I said 11 was about change, 11 in high magic is the number of abrahadabra, which changes things from one state of evolution into the next. It is the sorcerer's stone, able to transmute one thing into gold. So you get the picture. You can take who you are now and turn it into this person that you're trying to become. The trick is stay vigilant, stay aware. Don't oppress yourself. Don't numb yourself. Don't escape. Don't run from the uncomfortable situations. Instead, run into passion, run into unapologetic emotion, run into those intense and fierce feelings that are trying to surface and bubble up. Listen to what your ego has to say. Your inner child has things to say. Your current self has things to say. Your ancestors, your guides, these are all circulating so quickly around you and into the heart space, rooting you into this identity. You can handle all of the things that you're given. You have an incredible support team that is not going to overwhelm you if you prioritize yourself and what you're passionate about. Do not miss this opportunity to get to know you. Okay, and then in that way you're going to be able to manifest some really amazing changes this year is what I hear. Then from the Zen goddesses, I have 2 sacral chakra oracles, a beautiful tiger, number 17, expression, and 25, self-love. Continuing on with this theme of you have these intense emotions, and it doesn't mean, don't label yourself as what I'm getting. Keep expressing, keep it fluid, like the whale. The whale has a lot of identifying terms around it, a lot of adjectives. So does the fierce tiger, and so do you. Some days you are gentle, you are relaxed, sweet, kind, domestic. Some days you are bold, wild. You have the past that gives you so much wisdom. You've overcome some great challenges that not many people around you have. And if they have, they haven't done it in the way you have, and they don't have the wisdom that you have to offer. You are a leader who also deserves to have plenty for yourself as well. I feel a lot of money's coming in for this group over and over. You are a wild cat that needs to be seen and loved and expressed, that needs to growl and howl and purr in this lifetime. Your multifacetedness, your multidimensionality is something that is creating the perfect formula, the perfect number and types of manifestations to make you fully satisfied. You can have all of it, both, anima mundi, everything together. You are a very universal being, very in touch, very psychic. This universe is not this universe is a pure expression of you. No fear needs to be had. You are the abundant, powerful, upper hand player in your life. You're the captain, the motivator, you're everything. You're the field, the goalie, the goalpost, whatever you call it. Here we go, me going into sports. We'll stop there. Okay, our last two cards, we have a alchemy card from Kim Cran's new alchemy deck. Really like this one. So we have the Sun's Splendor. We're leading back to you. You may notice that a lot of your triggers can be self-absolved. You may believe that having conversations or getting other people's validations, making money, making these manifestations happen are what's going to make you feel like you, but actually you can absolve a lot of these things yourself. You can cultivate a lot of those feelings that you're seeking in yourself. Imagination's important right now. Working with the sun, working with your ability to be seen, to lead, possibly putting out some sort of content or course, writing a book, sharing your story, having conversations, dancing, singing. Some sort of expression needs to happen for there to be a more beautiful sense of unity. Some of you may be also having children soon, or a new child, or working very closely with a child, because we have the diamonds, we have the two love birds here, so new love could be headed in. We also have, I believe these are plumerias, right? There's a lot of love here. There's a lot of serenity and forest, dark forest existing with all of this brilliance and this multifacetedness. We have two gold pieces, meaning that yes, you will see success. Yes, you're protected. Yes, the manifestations you want are coming. Don't forget that in moments of panic and strife and fear and ego. Don't forget that, you know, those things are not identifying your whole experience. What's identifying it is your ability to get what you want, which is coming. Nothing can stop this group, pile one. You are overcoming the greatest challenges. You're already over halfway there. And to close this reading out, we have a spell card, remove obstacles on ISHTAR. So possibly, I'm gonna put this up here and you can screenshot that if you want to do this spell on ISHTAR. Excuse me. But also, you may want to buy a road opener candle, or an unblocking candle, or a visualization candle, or an evil eye candle, something that kind of solidifies and ritualizes your belief that nothing can stop you. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this reading. Please make sure that you subscribe to my channel. A lot of you who watch don't actually subscribe, but you continue to come back and watch, so please make sure that you're subscribed, like this video, leave a comment, and until my next one, I'll see ya. Bye. Hello, Pile 2. I want to just apologize ahead of time. There was some stuff happening outside when I already started, and I didn't want to stop because I just feel very called to do this reading, so I hope the noise doesn't bother you too much. Other than that, we're just going to hop right in, but before we do, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. And yeah, let's just hop right into these channeled messages. We're leaving it very open for both the facets of the goddess and your personal guides and anything that spirit wants to bring through. It's very universal, this reading, as the void and the dark goddess is, right? Okay, so the first thing I like to do is take a look at the crystal that is associated to your pile. Now we have a piece of lemon citrine here. Lemon citrine is all about, you know, self-worth, transmuting lemons into lemonade, if you will. It's kind of being an optimist. It's seeing the bright side and also leaving an opportunity for the tough things to arise so we can adhere to those needs as well. So we'll just hop right into the cards. We have this pre-selected pile here. I'm not sure what's in there, but we're gonna find out now. Okay, so to start, we have the Panther. A beautiful and very fitting card for Dark Goddess readings because the Panther is a symbol of the enraged, powerful feminine. It's about overcoming jealousy. It's about seeing, you know, that there will be things that feel predatorial over your manifestations. There will be things that seem to block you or put you in a corner. But overall, you are the wildcat. You are the one that is in charge here. You are the one with the mysticism and the power to change your experience, your outlook on things. So there may be external areas of lack and competition, but you are able to overcome those things very easily, actually, because you are the queen here and you're stepping into queendom. And to step into queendom, to be on the top of that hierarchical triangle, not because you want to be above people, but because you need to remember that you are the captain of your life. You need to not be at the mercy of the things around you. You need to be the thing that determines what your worth is, what your value is. You need to decide how you want to feel, not how do they feel about me, what's happened in my past. None of that defines you. Your ability to actually step up to the plate, claim your space, claim your past, heal it, and jump into that sacred unknown space of infinite potential and possibility is what is defining you. And that can stir up anger, it can stir up past things, it can stir up the need to cut ties, to kill, to, and by kill I mean let go of old parts of ourselves. Everything though points back to you. This is all you're making, right? Your perception is completely in your hands. A magical torch of power is being handed to you, and I think you may still be stuck in some victimhood. You may not realize that you still have these beliefs that sometimes hold you back and hinder you, and you believe that you are to be loyal to the most painful of identities that you have, and you don't need to be, and you need to identify which habits hold you back from expressing for yourself so that you believe. Don't dump things out on other people, but express those deep emotions to yourself more often and listen so that you can make changes accordingly. Big change is headed your way. For the sake of your power and your ability to own your power and not feel like a victim and not feel like someone's gonna hurt you or take something away. No one can take anything away from you. I get that very strong. And I feel this sense of almost agitation, meaning that you feel, like you have to fight for something, and the truth is you don't anymore. You can just embody her. Embody the part of you that is sacred, intelligent, and unapologetic, unfearing. Like the huntress energy, right? You're getting what you want. It's time to get what you want. And I feel like there's a sense of complication surrounding you. Like it's so complicated and there's so many things to work out, or there's so many people you need to, there's so many things let it all go. Okay, the universe has your back. You're fine. Nothing's gonna hurt you. And no one can really do anything at this point. You have all the power. So it's about getting yourself to believe that. And I apologize if I come off as so strong, but I feel it very sternly. Okay, checking deeper in, where are these matters kind of showing up? We have some cards from the Black Moon Astrology deck. I don't know if I mentioned this is from the Kim Kranz Animal deck. We have these patterns showing up in love and the world, the 10th house, money, public status. So I feel there's some different things here. There's a sense of, why am I not getting what I want then? I'm fighting really hard. Why am I not getting what I want then? Why do I not feel validated in my partnership, in my job? Why do I think why do I feel grateful yet not satisfied at all? I want to get these big things, or I got these big things and I'm still not happy with them. I think you're basing your worth over and over again. I'm getting this already. You base your worth in things that are outside of yourself. It's time to come back into yourself and meditate, really, because the silence is going to get you to a place that all of your hard work and action and emotions don't get you to. I think you get too wound up because you're such a bold, beautiful person. You've worked very hard. You have so many beautiful things. You're very self-validated on the outside, but on the inside, you don't really spend that much time inside. You're scared of the inside, I think. Because it's more exciting on the outside because there's more experiences and pleasure and opportunity on the outside, but you forgot that to be truly at peace, to be truly satisfied, requires a pretty solid amount of time inside. So meditation is definitely calling you. Possibly switches in work and love are coming, and you need to be in control of that. You need to think about what you want and be willing to be open when things get uncomfortable. And a lot of brainstorming is coming your way, which I think is why meditation and going inward is going to help you a lot. Now moving on, we have some tarot cards from the Queer Tarot. Okay, so King of Wands, Emperor, Seven of Pentacles, and the Seven of Wands. Okay, all of these were technically inversed, but I'm going to put them right side up. Now when things are inversed all together, I like to think that it's not necessarily about the individual cards being inversed, it's actually more that the question of the person is sort of skewed, that they're not looking at things totally realistically, that there may be something masking, that their tougher emotions may be causing them to think that they need one thing when they really need another. Or that they're having a hard time self-validating themselves, which I think we already kind of talked about. Okay, so in the King of Wands, next to the Emperor, next to the Seven of Pentacles and the Seven, you take everything on yourself. You really internalize a lot of things. When I have sevens, I teach the sevens as lucky and lonely. You feel like you have to wait forever to make the amount of money you want to make. You feel like you need to wait forever to really know that you're on top. I feel this sense of hierarchalness. You deal with very powerful people. You've dealt with powerful people. You've done some powerful things and you have some powerful opinions. It's a lot of power to manage, which is why you probably feel kind of lonely, which is why you feel like you gotta fight to get to the top. But actually, patience and this friendly reminder from the goddess that you have the upper hand, and that when you sit back and relax, you'll really see that maybe you're doing a lot of things for other people. That maybe you're a symbol of authority and leadership to everybody else, and everybody else sees your beauty but you. And then when you reconnect to that inner inspiration, that inner hunger, the root of what the panther is feeling, the anger, the loneliness, the hunger, the need to get out and be beautiful and be seen, the root of that is sitting in your heart. And it's not the fact that you've lost that. You still feel those feelings, but spending time with them and honoring them and ritualizing them and doing your magic and getting in touch with your guides and your ancestors and not just having to be so alone on the top is going to provide results. You don't have to wait. No one's fighting you. It's just you. You're fighting you now. You've already overcome most of the things you need to overcome. You already are seen in all your beauty. You don't need closure from other people. No one needs to give you the satisfaction of copping out of your own game, right? Like, you might be waiting on closure or a cosign or an apology or someone to finally get who they are. It goes back to you. You're figuring out who you are. And you're figuring out where you stand with those people. And you have to decide if you want to prioritize your success and your happiness and your ability to create, or if you want to prioritize focusing on everybody else. Because you have such great power and you're going such beautiful places and you have so much luxury and rewards coming your way. So if you want to really dive into that experience, which is why I feel like I felt so strongly, like I feel such an agitation, like what are you waiting for? Simplify. Take time to ritualize yourself. You're so special. I feel like maybe some of you also have great-grandmother, grandmother energy, mother energy coming up. The dark mother even, who is like, just sit still for a second, look around, recollect. How much effort are you putting into places that don't serve you? Recommit in other places. Small adjustments make large changes, and then you are going to get those big rewards. Okay, let's keep going. So I have a Sacred Geometry card from the Law and Relationships Union. 44, the energy of union activates our ability to unite our outer and inner aspects towards a state of wholeness. Woo! Okay, so we're on the road to what we've been talking about, which is kind of that practice of, okay, I remember how to sit down and ritualize this journey, not just be so outwardly focused, not just focus on how other people are making me feel. I want to know how I feel. I don't have to wait for anything but myself to get to that state of meditation, so I can remember, okay, here's all the things I've already done. Here's all the power I already have. Here's all the people I already have to collaborate with. Here are the small adjustments I have to make. Here are the conversations that I actually need to have. And here are the conversations I just need to have with myself, and then cut those other people out that don't serve me, and keep walking forward. Whoa. Okay, that just kind of came out. So no more focusing so hard on the past or whatever. Like, get the help you need if you need help, but other than that, you're golden. You're going forward now. And you're blessed. Love is blessed. Home is blessed. Money is blessed. You're gonna have everything you need to make your manifestations happen. But I think they're such big manifestations that you almost need to like reground and regroup and realize what's going on inside so that you can actually appreciate and be fully enthralled in the experience of your life. Okay, we'll keep this reading moving. So we have 2 cards from the Sacral Chakra deck by the Zen Goddesses. We have Passion Warrior and Emotions. Okay. So I do think this is kind of about fighting through things, overcoming adversity, coming from the underdog into a state of wealth and manifestation. Challenges still arising, past traumas arising, past heartbreak arising, and wanting to fight so bad to still get what you want. I love that. Your calmness and your balancedness and your meditations and your ability to let change come in is going to serve you so well, and you're really cultivating that now. Then we have an alchemy card from Kim Krantz Alchemy deck, and we have fume or smoke. We also have the circle and the triangle, a sense of penetration. I think that love is coming your way. God is really watching. Spirit, dark goddess, whoever, ancestors, whatever it is that watches you is watching very closely, making sure you're on the right path. You are. You need this final push, this reading possibly, a meditation practice, and you're going to really work through the last of those grits, right? That grit. Because you've already lit it all on fire. You've already burned it all down, and now you're watching the integrations of your lessons happen. And lastly, to close your reading out, we have a spell card from the Wikipedia, Access Other Realms. Again, the meditation, the channeling is really calling you. There's something on the other side. Very simple messages, but they're just on the other side, so you got to make some time to get there. Yep. Okay. Build your altar. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Sorry it was very blunt and forward. Please subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this or received from this. If something didn't serve you, just leave it right where it is. And until next time, I'll see ya. Bye. Welcome, Pile 3, to your reading. Today we have an assortment of decks that make up your pile. We're going to go through them in the order that they're in. Every deck had the same number of cards, but obviously all different cards and unidentified. I don't know what's here yet. So before we get into your cards, we'll start with your Dalmatian Jasper. So the inner child is really starting to lighten up. Your spirit guides, the dark goddess, Lilith, Ishtar, any goddess or feminine intelligence that you work with, ancestors, etc., are very, very proud of you and are shining a light on the fact that you've overcome some major beliefs in your identity. You've overcome some major challenges in your life, and you're on the up and up. You're doing a good job at staying out of broodiness and depression, and you're really just like you're doing it. You're really doing it, okay? And more fun is headed your way as well. So we have the wolf. Right off the bat, you do have a very specific group of people that you run with. You have the core people. Don't worry so much about socialization, but also don't try to shoulder. Be careful of slipping into patterns of, I'm alone on this, only I can help myself. You have a support system, and so you should be using it. Working with the moon, ritualizing yourself is important. Don't forget to be working with the moon. If this card's coming up for you and you're here in a Dark Goddess reading, there is something about ritualizing the moon and the phases and yourself all together at once, whether it's just journaling or holding a crystal. You got to do something to stay in touch with your magical practice and your vessel's ability to cultivate that spiritual relationship in a physical sense, because you're very grounded and you're also very flighty in your head. You're able to really tap into other realms and consciousnesses and understand very quickly, which sometimes means that you might diminish the validity of returning to this sense of ritual and groundedness in your spirituality. Okay, moving into more details, we have the Black Moon card deck, Black Moon astrology deck, and we have 2 water signs, okay? Scorpio, I transform, and Cancer, I feel. Again, this sense of overcoming great challenges is very much being applauded right now about you. You could also feel like people are jealous of you. You could feel like you're kind of at the mercy of other people's energy sometimes. You may want to be a caretaker. You may want to provide. You may want to give people advice or wisdom. Just stay in your own lane. There is something to be said about the wolf being here. No one can affect you as long as you don't invite them in to affect you. You're being very selective about your core group of people has served you, and you've been weeding people out, calling new people in, having enough fluidity and water energy to connect and make those connections, but also being mindful. Scorpio is Pluto and Mars. Having your guard up is important for you. You've been through enough to know that that is true in your case. And something's coming up that I recently heard from my therapist, which was that, your wall can change textures. Sometimes you need a steel wall to protect yourself, and no one can come in and no one can go out, and that's maybe your sacred space to process. And then other times you can have a beautiful small picket fence, and it's just respecting your space, but people can see you and see your process. So be compassionate with yourself that sometimes varied levels of protection are necessary, and having protection doesn't mean someone's out for you or something bad is going to happen. It just means that you have the space you need to feel safe, grounded, and comfortable, because you're very empathic and psychic, okay? Then moving into the Queer Tarot, into your pre-selected cards, we have the Magician, the Queen of Swords, the Eight of Wands, and the Hierophant. Okay, so you're very much moving through a series of, I get dialogue. So both mental dialogue that happens between you and your inner self, you and your inner child, you and your spirit guides, you and I now with these channeled messages. You're interacting physically with very many things. The Eight of Wands is Mercury in Sagittarius. It's a cultivated fire. Projects that were seeded a long time ago could start to take off for you now. You have many things ahead of you. You're coming out of this, you're planting more seeds still, right? When we have the Magician and the Queen of Swords, there's another sense of isolation here. There's a sense of I'm doing this, I'm doing it on my own, I'm sovereign. Great. You've transformed your victim mentality of being alone into a sense of leadership, into a sense of sovereignty, into self-belief. But don't become cold in that aspect. We have a lot of Mercury energy here. The Magician's also ruled by Mercury, so conversations and collaborations are actually more important than you might think. Even the simple act of going to a crystal store and picking up a crystal changes a slight thing in your energy, which can have a butterfly effect. So don't take the small actions lightly. Pay attention. Connections are being made. People are coming into your life. They could be Geminis, Virgos, air signs, a Taurus, a Cancer, Scorpio. These could be important astrological placements to pay attention to with the people around you, and they could just be giving you cues and breadcrumbs in the right direction. The Hierophant being at the end makes me feel like, you're working within a structure. You do have a set amount of responsibilities to be taken care of. While you're also very psychic and able to channel, you're very much trusting the universe right now in the direction you need to go. You're at a very beautiful balanced state, but that beautiful balanced state is being thrown off and shifted all the time in a very positive way. And so just to keep trusting, because many things are about to happen that are going to ricochet you into a new level of manifestation capabilities. Your Sacred Geometry card from the Law and Relationships Sacred Geometry deck Oracle is number 38, which adds to 11, which signifies change and mastery and teacherhood. Strength makes me think of the Strength card, the High Priestess riding the beast. Rather than slaying our inner demons, we befriend them, we assign them a task, and now they work for us. There's a sense of peace and completion about you. In this geometry, we have this 8-pointed star with women dancing on the ends with their arms raised over their 8th chakra. Spiritual awakening is happening for you. The 8-pointed star, might I remind you, is also Ishtar's star, so working with Ishtar, who is often associated with the same godhead as Lilith. So the Dark Goddess is very much supporting you, is very much celebrating you, and giving you an opportunity to be the multifaceted being that you've only ever embodied one facet of at a time. You're doing all of it right now. And I do think that your sexuality, your creativity, your ability to call in a partner is extra strong right now, or to call in a different level of partnership. The frequency of strength supports our ability to harmonize all of our qualities and skills towards a strong and balanced way of being. Beautiful. So I do think something is also going to be shifting with your responsibilities too. So just stay open-minded, because things will shift and they'll be shifting for the better. And then moving on to the 2 cards from the Zen Goddesses Sacral Chakra deck, we have Expectations and Orange. Okay, so the orange makes me think of Oshun. It makes me think of new technologies even, because the orange is actually like a hybrid of citrus. I've heard that it actually doesn't occur naturally in nature. So I do have a feeling you've been doing so much work, more 8-pointed stars, more Ishtar, more divine sexuality, Lilith energy, plus the orange almost has like this snake-like skin on the inside. You're cracking something open. Something that didn't seem quite right is being cracked open, and you're very much examining it, and there could be a sense of voidiness or confusion or divinity that surrounds your phase of life right now. But overall, it's calling in a period of abundance, of creativity, of sacral chakra energy. 2 and 4 equals 6, a further validation of abundance, of fruitfulness, of you reaping the rewards, the fruits of your labor. All the work you've been putting in, the expectations you have, do have a payoff. But be careful to not base your self-worth in those expectations, because you may get what you want, but it doesn't mean you'll be fully fulfilled, if you will, So stay open and stay fluid, and trust in this process. Stay present, because the inner work is more exciting to your spirit than anything and will satisfy you even more. And I think you know that. Now with our second to last card, we have Rotatio, with our beautiful spider hanging from her single thread. Rotation is also very much giving the 8 of Wands energy that you had earlier. So again, you may feel like things are repetitive. You may feel like you already know what the people, places, and things in your life have to offer you, but things are going to be shifting. There's a new dynamic coming in. A sense of collaboration is going to be very beneficial to you. You'll know who you don't need to collaborate with and who you do. You can trust yourself on that one. All right. I also see that the black and white is all outside and angled, as with the circle, the feminine intuition is protecting this beautiful color. So going within, possibly through meditation, possibly through observing nature, possibly through breaking a routine of some sort and spending a day for yourself or an hour for yourself, is going to be important in the process of calling in some of these changes, which I think are to do with love and relation and work life. All for very positive, all very unexpected though. I think you have some unexpected changes that are really going to tickle your fancy. Now to close out this reading, I have one of the Wikipedia spell cards. And would you look at that? Connect with a goddess, guide, or angel. You had a lot of Ishtar stuff coming up. Ishtar is associated to Lilith. So build an altar and sit with that altar and take some time for introspection and ritualizing what you're doing in this world. It doesn't necessarily have to be all about, you know, a spell or connecting with something or just working with the moon. It's about you in that process. It's about you collaborating with your spirit guides, with the goddess, with the moon, etc. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. You can screenshot this card if you'd like to and do the spell. And make sure that you've subscribed to my channel, because it's the easiest way to repay me for this reading if it served you. And if something didn't serve you, just leave it right where it is. It was probably for someone else. And until next time, I'll see ya. Bye. Hello, Pile 4. Welcome to your reading. So to start off, we will talk a little bit about the crystal that you chose. So we have carnelian. This is a beautiful, really darker piece of carnelian than any of the other ones in my collection. So I think there's something to be said about the sacredness that is carried in that energy. There's a sense of earthiness, of groundedness, of cyclicalness, of the moon, of our moon cycles, our sexuality, our creativity being very rooted in a sense of identity and purpose here, and a sense of alignment that we came here to do something with that creativity, with that sexuality, with all that we are going to do, right? So there's an emphasis on acting from a space of passion and a space of being. And that may come into play even deeper later. So we're going to hop right into your cards. We have an assortment of cards from different decks, all pre-selected, but I do not know what any of them are. We're welcoming in the messages of those who are in our highest and best, with an emphasis on the dark goddess or dark goddesses. I did talk about a bit about the dark goddess in the top of this video if you want to go listen to that if you haven't already. But if not, we're going to just go ahead and hop right in. So the animal card that you have from, excuse me, wow, from the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Guidebook is the swan. And I actually don't know much about the swan, and I haven't pulled out a guidebook at all yet, but we're gonna do it now because I just automatically reached for it. So let's see, the swan is water. Where's our water? Back here. Is it in alphabetical? No. Okay, wonderful. The swan, effortless creativity, sensitive mystic, elegant power. The swan represents heightened creativity. In Hindu mythology, the goddess Saraswati, the embodiment of language, creativity, and artistry, rides on the back of this graceful creature. The swan is ready to take us there, to the fluid realm of writing, creating, and reflecting. This potent and healing energy is not to be taken for granted or taken lightly. When the swan card appears, your soul is calling for attention, for solo time. An inner voice is waiting to be heard, an inner vision likely to be revealed. Okay, so there's a sense of infinite creative power, and we already kind of had that right here, right? And I also would like to say that swans are very fiercely sexual creatures. So there could be a sense of boldening, of really embodying who you are and letting your creativity breed into all aspects of yourself. And in this duality is really poking out as well, that you're doing, oh my god, keep yawning, a lot of reflection on the self, and there's good and bad and there's checkeredness, but you are embracing all. And what if not in a dark goddess reading would there be but a sense of the shadow arising to be healed? And I even have the term reprimanded, like giving it a job, right? The high priestess rides the beast in the strength tarot card, and I think about that a lot, how we don't have to slay those beasts of ourselves. We don't have to have hate and negativity. We don't have to match fire with fire. We can actually give it a job. It can actually heat our food, you know, like we can do something else besides match energy. And that's what we're kind of doing with our own shadows. We're integrating, working, and delegating within. Moving on to see what areas the Dark Goddess is really showing up to help with, we have card number 8 from the Black Moon Astrology deck. We have Chiron Healing and Mars Force. Okay, again, there's a sense that I think maybe you need to fix, you need to stand up, you need to argue, you need to fight, do. There's a sense of passion. May I suggest, though, that the work is more so in working on the self, in peace, in healing, in reflecting. A lot of past stuff could be coming up for you, and the Dark Goddess is here to empower you and let you know that your process is perfect. That compassion may be the sacred remedy in all of the confrontation that you're having with yourself. That you may feel this is an outward thing, that there's somebody else to be blamed or fought with. But they don't have shit on you, you know? They really don't. Because you're working on yourself. Nobody has access to you right now. You are the leader. You are the decider of your perception. Okay? So if you think other people are involved, you could be semi-right, but realistically, it's totally about healing yourself and your past. And I don't think anything can really bother you. You have the upper hand. And the Dark Goddess has reminded every pile of that in some way. You have the upper hand of yourself, of your shadow, of your past traumas, of the people around you. No one can take anything from you. It's up to you to find more peace, compassion, stillness, sereneness, serenity, and ability to be a pacifist in the landscape of growth right now. The swan also swims and walks the earth, so there's a sense of switching back and forth between emotions and groundedness, emotions and groundedness, memories and action, memories and responsibility, healing and staying out of victimhood. And that's what you're doing. Okay, and then we're going to move into your tarot cards from the Queer Tarot deck. We have the Star, number 17, the High Priestess, the Seven of Cups, and the Lovers. I love this. Okay. Well, you're definitely doing the inner work, may I say, and people are noticing. There are a lot of eyes on you, which doesn't mean you should change anything. You're doing a great job. There's a reason that spirit and things are directing eyes onto you, because you're someone to learn from right now. You're a leader. You're a studier. You've done the work. You've already done it. I think you're just realizing how much you've done. I think you're integrating that you've done so much and you're like, wait, is there more? No, you did it. You've done it. And in the Seven of Cups, you're more so wondering, what is going to happen next? There's all these possibilities. And Spirit's letting you know, and Lilith is letting you know, and Ishtar, and any of the goddesses, and any of the dark feminine energy that calls out to you is letting you know that you are safe in your relationships, you're safe in your friendships, you're safe in this world, you have a very specific mission, that you're going to have a very long and beautiful life to complete. Pay attention to your nervous system. There's going to be moments where the bush is on fire, and the bush is full of fruit, and the bush is full of temptation, and there's going to be all these different facets of life, but you will remain safe, protected, healing, and in sacred union as well. I think that, you'll have plenty of support, and your relationship is sacred. And yes, the future is unknown, and there's many unknown factors, but you're safe. Don't try to hyper control things just because now you are on top of the mountain. Don't try to be controlling what's going on ground level. Just sit back, relax, and do your thing, because Spirit has your back. These goddesses have your back. Okay. And something is coming to re-inspire you in a direction. You will get the things you need to do the work of the High Priestess and the Star. You're going to be seen for your mysticism. Oh, excuse me. You're going to be seen for the beauty of your relationship. You're going to get seen more and more. Okay, so you're making some sort of legacy for yourself. And that's just inevitable. Oh, wow. My heart just opened up and unfolded. We have the card of forgiveness, card 20, which is the number of judgment in the tarot. So really looking at everything and sifting through all of it. You've been doing the work, you've been healing, taking action, reflecting, staying in your spirit, staying on top of your social studies, right? You've been leaving room to be open and for fear to come through, to be seen and acknowledged. You're not repressing your emotions, which is beautiful. But there's nothing to be fearful. You're going to have everything you need, and their guides are very close on your back, and they will remain there for as long as they need to be. Now, from the Sacred Geometry deck by Lon of Relationships, we have forgiveness. And I brought up that it's 2-0. Now, 0 is the Fool in the tarot, so we have a new beginning ahead. And 2 is the High Priestess. There's a sacred sense of reflection going on, and that's creating a new thing. A purification, white and gold. That's why you're being seen right now, because in alchemy we have the stages of black, white, red. In between white and red is often a gold period. And this can be mistaken for the final phase, but you still have a lot of things that you get to do. It's not over yet, but you are very much purified of your past. Nothing can ruin what you have going for yourself. You did it. The Dark Goddess is letting you know that you did it. You are safe. And you can reflect, and you will reflect, and there will be hard times, but it's all good. Okay. The energy of forgiveness strengthens our capacity to let go of unwanted feelings and emotions. Forgive them. Let them go. Say, I forgive you. Letting those things fall away now. Letting the past parts of yourself, the things that you did, forgive yourself. An infinite flower of abundance and cyclicalness is opening up for you. Pearls, moon phases, sparkles, fairies, beauty is coming your way. The non-recreatable, replicable parts of life are opening up to you now, and you have an abundance of beauty and magic headed your way. So that's really something to look forward to. Now, in the Zen Goddess deck, I pulled 2. This is the Sacral Chakra deck by the Zen Goddesses, is what I meant to say. So we have 22 manifestation, a master number. You are getting what you want, what you deserve. You deserve all the things that you want. And 13 desires. Ah, love it. Okay, so a lot of beauty. I'm telling you. You did the hard part. You're there. You've got this. Call in the sexuality, the vacations, the home, the sense of well-being, the health. It's all there for you. It's all coming. Feel it in your sacral chakra. Create it. You have full creative capabilities right now. Second to last card is the Uranus card from the Alchemy deck. Beautiful. Okay, so, and this is from the Kim Kranz Alchemy deck. It's one of her most recent ones as of right now. Excuse me. We have the golden pearl, the golden nugget, kind of again representing this sense of you've done the alchemy, you've turned it into gold, you took your past, you changed it, you went into the void, you went through the storm. More storms, more voids will come, but you are there. You've made the, oh my god, what is it called? Why do I want to say mandala? It's not mandala. Oh, it's gonna drive me crazy. You've taken the broken shards of glass and made art out of it. And yeah, more things will come and a piece will fall off here and there, but you did the majority of the heavy lifting. Now is the time to manifest and call in all kinds of new beautiful things. More money, more following, more validation, beauty, all sorts of beauty is coming your way. Okay, and then the last, oh, and then Uranus, of course, is, sorry, Uranus, of course, is associated to the Fool, so big change is coming your way, and it'll be beautiful to start fresh on this ground. I'm guessing regarding lovers and everything we've been talking to, there's going to be a lot of beautiful change headed your way. And now you got a Sabbath card, Yuletide spell for peace. You can screenshot it if you want to do this. This is for Yule, but I would recommend finding some sort of peaceful candle spell or peace altar that you can build, just something to honor your sense of peace inside. as big change happens, you may, get triggered or whatever, but cultivating peace is important for you. So I hope that this reading served you in some way. Make sure to leave a comment below. Make sure you're subscribed to do an energy exchange with me. And if anything didn't resonate in this reading, just leave it right where it is. It was probably for somewhere else. And until next time, I'll see ya. Bye.